What's up, family? Hey, so today I'm gonna reveal some things about me because so often people believe, people think, or get this misconception that those of us that have been doing this work for a while, that have been meditating for years, and that have been doing the work as far as their shadow work, diving deep into their subconscious thoughts and all those other things. They people get the misconception that those people have it figured out, that those people have all the answers. And nothing can be more true. Nothing can be more true. You know what I mean? I've been doing meditations since conscious meditations since like 94, 95 time frame. You know what I mean? And family, if I could be brutally honest with you guys, this lifestyle of growth and development, man, it sucks. You know what I mean? It freaking sucks. And I'm just being real. You know what I mean? And what do I mean by it sucks? Man, because you can't get complacent. You can't get comfortable. And what I mean by getting comfortable is, man, growth and development demands that you're constantly growing, you're constantly dealing with your stuff. You know what I mean? And that's why most people don't want to do it, you know? And it's like, you go through some stuff, you deal with some issues, and then when you finally get to the point of mastering those issues, overcoming those obstacles, and dealing with that hurt and that trauma and that drama, you know what I mean? And you master that, God gives you like this little reprieve. You get like this little cooling off moment. It's like, okay, you just went through hell, so I'm gonna give you a little 5 minute break. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you a little vacation. I'm gonna give you a little cooling off moment. You know what I mean? And as soon as you get comfortable in your cooling off moment, as soon as you get comfortable on your little vacation, your little break, your little pass, y'all, you get hit with something else. You know what I mean? And it's always something deeper. It's always something bigger. It's always something more painful, more traumatic. You know what I mean? You're constantly growing. You're constantly diving deep into your subconscious. And there's levels to the subconscious. You know what I mean? We don't really talk about that stuff. We always talk about going into your subconscious, understanding your subconscious, but we don't understand the depths of our subconscious. You know what I mean? You just can't dive to the bottom of your subconscious thoughts in this room, gather everything up and be like, okay, here's all my issues and whoop whoop whoop, I'm dealing with them all and blah blah blah. Life won't allow you to do that. God won't allow you to do that. You can't handle that. You cannot handle that. Truth be told, you're barely handling the little issues you're dealing with right now. And that you're nowhere close to the bottom. You know, you're nowhere close to the bottom. As soon as you get past that, you're gonna go deeper. And you're gonna go keep going deeper and keep going deeper and keep going deeper. Doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for a long time. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. And so often, many people think that, man, we have it all figured out. Man, we act like we know it all, you know? Um, and truth is, family, I know I don't. I know I don't know it all. That's why I'm constantly meditating. That's why I'm constantly studying. That's why I'm constantly open and asking God, help me, guide me. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, man, help me understand this. Help me remember this. Explain this to me. Make it, and when I talk, man, make it simple to me. You know what I mean? Make it simple for me. Because I'm kind of slow sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. Yesterday, I was on the phone with my oldest son. And he was telling me about some experiences that he had in LA, you know, and he was talking about to this young lady, and she was telling him, "Man, you must have had great role models. You know, you must have great parenting to help you make it through all that you've gone through." And he went on to say that, man, he wanted to walk down. I can't even think of it now, but it's a real bad part of LA where all the homeless people are at. You know, Um, I know exactly where it's at, but I can't think of the term that they call it. Um, it's almost like a tent city. You know, it's just a bunch of homeless people and drugs and just you know the story. And he saw this young lady holding this little baby, this little infant baby, out on the streets at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And my son is looking around, and my son is like 6'4", 6'5". He's a big dude, you know. And he's like, man, this ain't no place for this little lady, this young lady, but more so for this baby, you know. And it just really hit him, you know, what this young lady was telling him. Man, you've had great parenting, you've had great role modeling to help you go through what you've gone through, and whoop de whoop de whoop. And so he was talking to me. He was telling me, Dad, I just want to tell you, man, I love you and I'm proud of you. And man, thank you for being who you are. And thank you for, you know, all the stuff that you've done to us and for us to, you know, make us the way that we are, to help us become the way that we are. And he went on talking, and, you know, and one of my issues, family, you know, people don't really get up and talk about their issues publicly. You know what I mean? Um, it is what it is. You know, one of the things that I struggle with is accepting compliments. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I struggle with accepting compliments. It don't matter who it's from. I struggle with accepting compliments. And so, as I was talking to my son, I was like, "Oh, that's cool, thank you." And then I switched the subject, and the look he had on his face is like, "This motherfucker just blew me off." And I caught it when I saw that look. I caught that fact that he recognized that I just switched the subject, and I apologized to him, and I told him that I did and why I did. You know, me stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so he started busting a laughing. And so I was telling him, I said, you know what? I said, John, I heard everything you said. Man, I appreciate it. You know, and I repeated back to him what he said. I said, one of the things that I struggle with is accepting compliments. I struggle with that, you know, and I'm 51 years old, you know, and I struggle with accepting compliments. And the reality, I struggle with that because, man, my whole life, I've never really gotten that. From my childhood up, I didn't feel like I deserved compliments. You know what I mean? Because we were so verbally beat down, so emotionally beat down as kids. Man, we just thought everything we did was a failure. You know, nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was ever good enough. And then you add on to the fact that, man, we grew up in a psychotically religious, something my we grew up in a psychotically religious household, you know, Christian household, to where, man, they just re-emphasized or just reconfirmed that everything we did was a sin and we're going to hell and whoop whoop whoop. And again, back then everything was hellfire, you know what I mean? And damnation, everything was a dang sin, you know what I mean? And so you couldn't do anything right, you couldn't be good at anything. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? You're puffing up your chest and just stupid shit, you know? And it's one of the reasons I have a lot of issues with the religious brainwashing of Christianity. Stay with me. This is not a bash on Christianity. This is not a bash on Christians. This is the fact that a lot of Christians need to grow the hell up emotionally, intellectually. You know, we talk so much about the Bible and we could break it down, but we don't talk about how we traumatize people. We don't talk about the fact how we make people stuck and we don't help people with their emotional issues. We don't. We never have. We've always just told them pray about it. We've always told them just, oh, that's just the devil. You know, resist him and he'll flee from you. We've told them a whole bunch of stupid stuff that hasn't helped them in any way, shape, or form. We told them to fast. We told them to keep giving their tithes and offering. We told them a whole bunch of stupid stuff. Read your Bible. Do this, do this, do this. Like you could do something like that and that solve your problem. You can't do anything physically to solve an emotional problem. That's like telling somebody to go take this dope and, man, and your problems will go away. Go hit this pipe right here and your emotional problems will go away. No, they won't. you're gonna have more problems. You telling all these people to read this, study this, fast, do this, and all their emotional problems will go away. No, it's not. You're complicating their problems. You're gonna make their problems worse. Because after they do all that and they have the same issues, now they're gonna feel like even more of a failure. Now they're gonna feel like, man, I suck even more so. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. I stuck more so. Man, it don't work for me. God don't work for me. God don't like me. God don't love me. Because I've done all this stuff that they said to do and my problems ain't went nowhere. I've done all this stuff that they said to do and I still got the same problems. You know what I mean? I still got the same issues. Therefore, it has to be one or two things. Either Christianity is a joke or it don't work for me for whatever reason. And that's the conclusion that the great majority of people come to now is that Christianity don't work. And it's not that Christianity don't work, it's that the Christians don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's that the Christians have taken the Bible and they've used that as an answer for everything and the answer to everything. And if you don't find the answer in it, oh, just fake the funk. Act like you all right. Just keep showing up to church and just showing up, paying your tithes and offering. Just keep coming and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And you don't deal with the issues. You never resolve the issues. So you can sit in church for 20, 30, 40, 50 years with the same anger issues. Sit there with the same issues 20, 30, 40, 50 years with the same trauma of your childhood. Still hating men because you got abused by men. You know what I mean? Still having authority issues. You could have the same problems that don't get resolved because you're looking for physical means to them. And it's not a physical thing that you could do to fix those emotional problems. Meditating is not going to fix your emotional problems. Praying is not going to fix your emotional problems. Studying is not going to fix your emotional problems. The only thing that's going to fix your emotional problems is you doing the emotional work. You sitting down, laying down, whatever you want to do, and learning how to deal with them. Learning where they came from. Learning the lesson that they were trying to teach you. And then releasing it. And see, because the great majority of us, we struggle with releasing our trauma and our drama because we've never really learned the lesson. And so we hold on to it. And you hold on to it because you haven't learned the lesson. So you can't let it go. You can't let go of something that hasn't taught you something. That's why we get out of abusive relationship after abusive relationship after abusive relationship over and over and over. Why? Because we haven't learned the lesson. And then some of us think we're smart. We just won't get into a relationship. And we think, okay, I've overcome that. No, you haven't. You just haven't put yourself in a situation to have to deal with that. You just said forget relationships. Relationships don't work for me. And so now you don't deal with those issues. And you think you've overcome them. There are no shortcuts. There is no cheating life. Not when it comes to growth and development. So, my son and I were sitting there, we're laughing. And I'm explaining to him, man, this is issues that I have. I'm still working on this issue right here. That I've never really gotten compliments. And when I have gotten compliments, I just blew them off. I blew them off. And I blew them off because I really didn't believe it was true. You know what I mean? And when women came and gave me compliments, man, you so sexy, man, you so fine, and man, you did that, man, your body did that, man, your mind is did that, and they say all this stuff, man, it's just like one ear and right out the other. It don't phase me. You know what I mean? It goes in one ear and right out the other. And it's like I want to believe it, I want to accept it, but it's like okay, well, It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and I'm not even gonna think about it. You know, people give me compliments at work. Man, we did this. Man, you did this and that. And it's like, man, this is what we do. You know what I mean? This is what we do, and it's no big deal. I blow it off. It's no big deal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Boom. But it's no big deal. It's what we do. You know what I mean? And again, it's because I've never learned how to sit back and relax and accept the fact that this person was giving me a compliment. And I never really got to, because I've always felt like people have ulterior motives. I've always felt like people was trying to gas me up. And again, that stems from the fact that, man, I've been so traumatized as a kid from religious people, from Christians, that everything I did was messed up. You know what I mean? To where now all these people are saying all these positive things, and it's like, you know, I don't know if that's making sense. You know, and so it's like that's something that I'm still struggling with. That's something that I'm still working on. And a little later on, yesterday, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my sister, and actually, I'm going back to my son. I was talking to my son about another book that I'm gonna start writing, right? And just a vibe. It just flew. You know, the conversation, I mean, flew. It was just a vibe. You know what I mean? Just the collaboration of it was just like, man, you know, man, we're gonna make this into a small screen, you know, little short story and whoop de whoop de whoop, and you know, put this on screen, put this on camera, you know. And as I was talking to him about it, man, it was like coming alive right before our eyes. And we're on the phone, thousands of miles away. He's out in Cali, you know, in L.A., and I'm out here in North Carolina, and we're talking, and I could actually visualize, I could see the story unfolding. You know what I mean? And I could see it playing out right there in my eyes as I'm talking to my son, you know? And he was like, man, that's a great idea. And woo-doo, woo-doo, woo-doo. And I almost did it again. You know what I mean? And I caught myself and I started laughing. It's like, dang, it's so ingrained in me. I don't even realize that I do it. I don't even realize that when people compliment me that I just tune it out as though they didn't say anything. And it's like, okay, it's time to deal with this. It's time to understand this. I know where it came from. How do we reverse this now? How do we learn the lesson from this now? What is this lesson teaching me? And see, part of me, I've always held onto that as like, man, this keeps me from being prideful. You know what I mean? This keeps me from being arrogant. This keeps me in humility. And that was my first thought process of it. You know, yeah, this is my defense mechanism to keep me humble. This is my defense mechanism to keep me, you know, grounded, so that I don't get, you know, so arrogant, so that I don't get so high-minded. You know what I mean? But because I keep dealing with it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, that's great, but it's deeper than that. There's more to it than just that. Because the truth is, when I dismiss those people or dismiss the comments of those people, what I'm saying and what I'm doing is I'm invalidating them. And that's never my intention. I never want to invalidate somebody. You know what I mean? And yet I realize that I do it when they give me a compliment. I'm invalidating what they're saying. Not intentionally, I just do it naturally. You know what I mean? And it only happens when they give me a compliment. And so when I was talking to my son about it, it's like, ooh, snap, yeah, I am invalidating this kid. You know, not kid, he's 30 years old, almost 30 years old. So it's like I'm not invalid. He's not a kid, but um, I'm invalidating what he was saying, as if he said all of that, and all it was yeah, 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 yeah. It didn't mean shit. You know what I mean? And it's like that sucks. That sucks. You got to change that, Elijah. You have to change that because that's not cool. And later on, I was talking to my sister, and she said, "What do you want for your birthday?" And my sister's a great cook, great cook, and she makes this shrimp thing, man. That's just, and I was like, I just want a pot of that. And she just looked at me like, she's like, okay, you got that. What do you want for your birthday? I said, what do you? No, I'm good. I don't want anything. She's like, I know you want something. What do you want for your birthday? I said, I don't. I really don't want anything. And she said, boy, I'm trying to get you something. And my birthday ain't till February. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm cool, cat. I don't need anything. I'm good. I don't want anything. You know what I mean? And she just looked at me, and I started laughing. And I started laughing because we both know that that comes from my trauma and drama of being a child, of the hellhole that we grew up in, of the hellish situations that we grew up in. We grew up extremely poor. Not only did we grow up extremely poor, we grew up, again, fanatic Christians. You know what I mean? Everything was a freaking sin. We couldn't celebrate birthdays. Celebrating your birthday was a freaking sin because you were elevating yourself to God level. And everybody was quote unquote worshiping you. That's the crap that they fed us. And I believe they fed us that crap so they wouldn't have to buy us nothing. So they wouldn't have to give us nothing. So they wouldn't have to feel bad for not being able to do that. You know what I mean? And I know there are some religious groups, like I believe the Seventh Day Adventists don't celebrate birthdays. You know what I mean? So I know there's some groups out there that don't celebrate birthdays. As a kid, man, that was hard. That was hard. You know what I mean? That was hard. And again, what that told us, what that showed us, you ain't crap. Yeah, I know it's your birthday, but you ain't crap. You're not worthy of anything. You're not deserving of anything. Even on your birthday, you're not deserving of anything. And I was just telling Kat, I said, man, you know what? For my birthday, I've never celebrated my birthday. Never really celebrated my birthday. You know what I mean? And it's like when my kids were younger, it's like, man, I'll grab the kids and we'll go out to eat. You know what I mean? I'm paying for it. You know, we'll go out to eat or we'll go to the movies or something like that. You know, but as far as celebrating my birthday, a birthday party, I never had a birthday party. I'm being real. I've never had a birthday party. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, and she was like, Elijah, we have to let that crap go. I'm asking you what you want because I want to give you something. I want to present something to you. And it's like, Kat, I've never depended on anybody. I've never put myself in a place of really expecting anything from anybody. And it's weird because, and I shared this part before that, man, every relationship I was in, I've always gone above and beyond. You know what I mean? I buy you stuff just because. I do stuff for you just because. Forget the holidays. You know, I'm gonna do it for your holidays too, but I'm not gonna do. I'm not going all out. I'm not going all out for Christmas. I'm not going all out for anniversary. I'm not going all out for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. No, I'm not doing all that. I'm not. And it's like my mentality is I do all year just because. Just because. On these holidays, it's like expected. You know, it's like people expect you to go above and beyond. Again, I got authority issues. You know what I mean? I'm not doing all of that because you expect it. No, I'll do it because I want to do it. I'll do it because my heart's in it. I'll do it because I want you to know that hey, this is what I think. It is just a token of my love, a token of my appreciation, a token of what I think about you. Some would do it all year long. You know what I mean? And but I've never had anybody ever in my life that reciprocated that. You know, I've never had anybody in my life that was that way for me. I've never had anybody that would just go out of their way and just do for me like that. And so it just, again, it just reiterated the fact that, man, you ain't crap. You know what I mean? These people don't even care enough to get you nothing. These people don't even think enough about you to do anything for you. And it's not about the gifts. Don't misconstrue that. You know, because just because you buy somebody a gift don't mean that you love them. Just because you buy somebody a gift or give them a gift don't mean that you value them. It don't mean that you appreciate them. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. And so, but I struggled with receiving things from people, whether it's compliments, and really never had anybody give me stuff or offer to give me stuff. You know what I mean? And so at 51 now, it's like a weird concept. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'll do for me. You know what I mean? I'll do for me. What I want, I'll buy it myself. That way I know ain't no strings attached. That way I know I'm not beholden to anybody. You know what I mean? That way nobody can hold that over my head. Well, I did this and I did this and I gave you this. I ain't trying to hear all that madness. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not trying to hear that. You know what I mean? So whatever I want, I've always worked for it. I've always gotten it for myself. Always. And so, um, but to be able to rely on somebody, to be in a relationship with somebody, and to have somebody wanting to do those things for me, man, I've never had that. I've never had that. And so I struggle with that. I struggle with that. And so those are just a couple of things that I'm working on. You know what I mean? A couple of things that I'm dealing with, and that I'm processing and um, that are on my plate, because so often you hear people get on YouTube or people get up and they're talking about, you know, where you're messed up at, you know what I mean? And what's wrong with you, but they never talk about themselves. They never talk about the stuff that they struggle with. You know what I mean? They never talk about the stuff that's close to home to them. And so it comes across as, man, they got it all figured out. They have all the answers. It makes it come across like they act like they perfect. You know what I mean? And the reality, I'm nowhere near perfect. And I know I'm not perfect. You know, and it's like, talking with my sister, and she's like, "Man, you're an asshole." And I laugh and we joke about it. She's like, "You just an asshole for no reason, just because I'm constantly messing with her, constantly just, saying stupid stuff to her, just running up on her and just giving her a hug from behind, and just putting her in a headlock and just giving her a kiss on her forehead or whatever. And it's like we didn't grow up with affection. We didn't grow up with affection. Okay? We didn't grow up being hugged. We didn't grow up being told we were loved or valued or cherished or any of that other stuff. Okay? We didn't get any of that. And so and it's crazy because we were that way. We became that way with our kids. And because we weren't affectionate or didn't receive affection growing up, we poured that on our kids, constantly told our kids how beautiful they were, constantly told our kids, what we thought about them, constantly gave our kids hugs and just all of the affirmations, you know what I mean? Because we wished we had that growing up. And even in my relationships, I poured out that affection on those that I was involved with, you know what I mean? Because again, I never got that growing up. And it's like, man, I wanted somebody to reciprocate that. I wanted somebody to do those things for me. But it never happened. You know what I mean? It didn't happen. And so, um, it is what it is, you know? And this is one of the things that, I struggled with. And it's like talking to Kat. It's like she's like, "Man, you're an asshole. You're an asshole." And it's like I'm an asshole because I love you. And she's like, "Man, I wish you didn't love me so much." You know what I mean? And stay with me. This part is crucial because I'm such a loving, caring, giving person. The yang to that, the yin yang, the opposite of that for me is, man, I could come across as an asshole sometimes. And it's all in fun. It's all in joking. It's all in laughing. And it's never putting anybody down. Now, I don't joke and put somebody down and laugh at, that. It's just, I'm annoying as hell sometimes. You know what I mean? I annoy the hell out of her. And it's crazy because I know I'm doing it, and I'll say stupid stuff that I know is going to get her riled up. I'll say stupid stuff I know is going to get her just you know, and I'll do stupid stuff that she's just like, you know, and it's like I know it's get to her, and it's just so much fun just having my sister, and we're just crazy like that, and but that's how I've always been, even in my relationships, I could be an asshole like that, and it's like it wasn't that I was trying to be an asshole, man, I was just having fun, just I'm a real laid back person when I get to know you and when I get comfortable with you. When I care about you and I open myself up to you, man, I'm real laid back. I'm real calm and just, I'm a kid. I'm a grown ass kid. You know what I mean? Doing stupid stuff. I like doing stupid stuff. And, but the flip side of that is, man, I'm going to love you with everything I got. I'm going to give you the shirt off my back and provide everything that I can for you. You're going to know that you're loved. You're going to know that, dang, this dude really loves me. Man, this dude really cared about me. Man, this dude really cherished me. Man, and it's like you're going to get spoiled. You're going to get spoiled. And unfortunately, the women that I've been involved with, they didn't just get spoiled, they started taking it for granted. They took it for granted. You know what I mean? And it's like when it was done and gone, it was done and gone. You know what I mean? And it's like it is what it is. You know. And part of me was like, man, f these bees. You know what I mean? It's easier when I didn't care about women. It's easier when I didn't give a crap about women's feelings and I was just a dog and just a hoe and just doing me and whoopty whoopty whoop and just getting mine and psh, you know. It was only easier because your emotions wasn't involved, but you knew that you wasn't living right. You knew that that's not how you wanted to live, so you're constantly struggling with that. Speaking for me, you know what I mean? And it's like, man, that's not what I want to do. I'm not going to do it. But on the flip side, I'm not going to allow other people's insecurities. I'm not going to allow other people's issues to stop me from being loving, to stop me from giving, to stop me from expressing my love to them and for them, regardless of whether or not they do it. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether or not they're emotionally, intellectually capable of doing that. I know that everyone is. Everyone is. They just choose not to because it's uncomfortable. It's a challenge to some people. I get that. This has just been a little rant of me talking to you guys about some of my issues, you know what I mean? And some of the things that I struggle with, and that I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form, you know, at all, you know. And if you was to get to know me on a personal level, man, I'm a big ass kid, you know what I mean? And I like, I like having fun, you know. And it's funny because this young lady that I work with, and she told me the other day, she's like, "You're an asshole," and I started laughing. I said, "You remind me of my sister." I said, "You know what? I'm only an asshole to people that I like. If I don't like you, if I'm not comfortable with you, if I don't, and when I say like her, I don't mean like I'm attracted to her or anything like that, or it's a sexual connection. That's not what I'm saying. It's just people that I'm friendly with, people that I'm connected with on that level. Man, let's have fun. Let's clown. Let's act stupid. Let's joke. You know what I mean? That's how I am. You know what I mean? If I don't trust you, if I don't like you like that, man, I'm straight laced. You know what I mean? I'm just boom. I'm a monk. You know what I mean? What I mean by that, man, is just work. It's just we're gonna talk about this right here, and it's gonna stay in this parameter. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, it's gonna stay in this parameter. I'm not gonna open up. I'm not gonna become transparent. I'm not gonna laugh and play with you. I'm not gonna joke with you. Yeah, I'm not gonna become friends with you because I don't trust you like that. You know what I mean? We're not connected like that. But if we're connected like that, man, you got my heart. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, man, I'm gonna open up, and you're gonna see the real me. The real me is like, man, this dude, he gives his all. The real him is me. Is like, man, not only does this dude give his all, this dude's a big ass baby Huey. You know what I mean? He's a baby Huey. He's a showing my age. This cartoon baby Huey back in the 70s, 80s, I think. And it's like, man, he's a big kid. He likes acting stupid, which is cool. It's just fun. You gotta laugh. You can't be so serious and just rigid. You know what I mean? You can't always be rigid and just straight laced and just serious all the time. Man, you have to learn how to fart, how to exhale. You know what I mean? Just woo-saw, let it out. Enough of this. My hope and prayer is that you understand that this journey is a process. Life is a process. It's a journey. You know, you're not going to get there overnight. You're not going to get there in a year. You're not going to get there in 5 years. You're not going to get there in 10 years. You know what I mean? You're not going to arrive at perfect enlightenment, within that time frame. It's not going to happen, family. You know what I mean? And man, I know I've talked about how my third eye was open, years ago. And man, just because you've enlightened or because you're smart or you're spiritual, don't mean that you can't have fun. It don't mean that you can't be an asshole in humor. You know what I mean? It don't mean that you can't be a big kid. It don't mean that you can't laugh and play and have fun. You know what I mean? It don't mean that you have to be super spiritual and just like a monk 24 hours out of the day. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you can't allow people in to see you and you guys just let your hair down and just act a fool sometimes. You know what I mean? Just act a fool sometimes. It's okay. It's a part of life. It's necessary. It's necessary. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.